Chelsea. We've only got have hope for a limited amount of time. Another poor day for you, have hope. Another game without scoring. And the most damning stat maybe, in the last 37 Premier League games for Chelsea, only 39 points generated. Legitimately, we're not talking 4 or 5 game hype. We are literally looking at a relegation battling team in terms of performances, goals, and points. How worried and frustrated are you that the poor form continues?
I mean, my thing is, when you invest in an orphanage, this is what happens. So my thing is, these guys, they're running an orphanage because I believe that if you're over 23, you're too old for this Chelsea team. So what I'd like to get through to these like psychopathic morons is, do you really believe that you can compete in the Premier League with a bunch of testy babies? And that's the reality now, because literally Thiago Silva is the most experienced, oldest person here. Kante was let go, Koulibaly was let go, Pochettino was let go. So all of the older guys have been let go. And you see, we have to now talk real. Since we're on the Terrace, we have to just talk real here. These guys are not here to win. This was an inside job. So it's one of two things. Either we've got completely clown owners, or these guys, they're actually intentionally trying to ruin Chelsea. Because what I've just asked is, what club in history has gone about a recruitment that is specifically about youngsters? So you lose Nkunku, and you're like, you know what? Do you know who can replace Nkunku? The sloppy seconds of Man City, Cole Palmer. When we paid 45 mil for Cole Palmer, City were like, are you dumb or are you stupid? Choose one. Either you're dumb or you're stupid. You have to choose one. That's your only choice. So it's the recruitment is trash. And you have that loser, Pochettino, who played an injured Hurricane, who had not played for 2 months in the UCL final, showing how much of a loser he is, now saying that, oh, we can't beat Bournemouth because of Nkunku. We can't beat Bournemouth because of injuries. That is a clownish remark. So I'm sorry, I don't even know what to do now, because this ain't my club. I don't know what club this is. This ain't my club. They stole this off Abramovich illegally, wrongfully. Again, this is not a political show, but let's just put that to one side. But I say it was wrongfully, but let's not delve into there. But okay, here's the thing. And let me ask the panel and ask everyone here right now. This is very simple.
Wait. Hopeless. What happened to Todd Boehly? Like, what happened to that energy?
No, it doesn't exist. That doesn't exist anymore.
Energy, bro. Like,
that doesn't. That doesn't.
Even too long ago, you were screaming that.
His name is Todd Jeremiah Boehly. His name is Todd Jeremiah Boehly. I don't know who the hell Todd be. His name is Todd Jeremiah Boehly. But this, okay, let me give you an amazing example. This is a great analogy. I have a mansion. It's clean. Jacuzzi. The pool is cool. There's a beach. Blue waters. Waterfalls. It's amazing. Then I say, you know what? Due to some stuff, I don't want this mansion anymore. I'm going to give this mansion to another person. Then the dude comes inside. He breaks the windows. He pisses in the water. He doesn't feed my pigeons, doesn't feed my birds. So my birds and pigeons die of starvation. And he literally ransacks the whole place, and he turns the mansion into a shack. That's what these guys have done. Because my thing is, how do you see how this club was run for the best part? What?
All this because he bought Mudryk for 80 million.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just, and also, by the way, I think it's only fair that we do a Mudryk Trossard swap. Arsenal wanted Mudryk, so you can have him. So I think we should do this swap, since that was the guy that you wanted. So, but my thing though is, Terry, the owners are the issue. And I am coming for all of these big Chelsea fan channels out there who, you guys, you earn money, and they earn retweets, being Terry's favorite word, these echo chambers. That's how you earn your money. You're not going to call this out because you want to keep that money going through. So you're going to accept how this club has been ruined from the inside and how the recruiters is a complete joke. Nobody can defend you recruiting orphans on a blood pact. It's a blood pact. These 7, 8-year, 9-year contracts, it's a blood pact. And again, this is all I say. And the last thing I said, you guys can comment. What club in history has gone about recruiting orphans on 8-9 year contracts, thinking that they could win. Sorry, last thing. People say, "Oh my gosh, how can you spend $1 billion and you can't beat Bournemouth?" Those are for morons who don't understand football and they only speak fluent moron. So let me try and translate for guys who speak fluent moron. It's not how much you spend, it's what you spend the money on. If you spend a bill on kids who are just learning how to walk, you're not going to beat it Bournemouth and you're going to struggle against the Luton Town. And that's the issue. Terry, we've been screwed from the inside. It's an inside job.
I'm not hearing that. I'm really not hearing it, because when you were signing all these young players, look, you can put it to the owners. They're obviously going to take some ownership of it and they have to take some responsibility. But when you were signing all these young players, it was Poch is the guy to do this. We saw what he done at Tottenham.
I never said that. I never said that.
You didn't say this, but this was the narrative. You didn't say this, but this was the narrative. He builds young players. He's the best coach to take a young team forward. This is what Poch wants. He's the coach to do this. This is what Chelsea fans were saying. So you spent all this money, yes, £1 billion. It cares what you spent on, but that's not an excuse to not coach your team to beat Bournemouth. That's not an excuse to have one win, and that one win is against the worst team in the Premier League, Luton Town. These excuses just aren't good enough. You can look at the board as much as you want, but you have to look at the team. You look at the players, you look at the manager. The teams you guys are playing simply just aren't better than Chelsea. You have a lot of injuries, yes. We can look at that. But every time you got an injury this summer, you replaced that player with a signing. You signed
No, but Jordan, here's the issue though. Jordan, here's the issue though.
Oh my God, the average Chelsea fan will come here with the
young players. But every time, Mo, we all remember. Every time they signed one of those players, it was a celebration. It was all this Chelsea
I never celebrated. Don't put it on me.
Did you celebrate your owner?
No,
he didn't.
But no, wait, hold up. But Jordan, here's the thing though. No.
Bro,
okay, no. Okay, no. Here's the thing.
You just said it's absolutely giving me headache. Listen, bro, your club spent £1 billion. You have 5 guys on the bench that Google doesn't have a picture of them. That's a banter of a club, bro. This is you coming here with this all sub story to avoid banter. It's fine, I get it, because it's not only you doing it. It's if my club Inter does this, right? And I get like trolled I'm not just gonna sit here and cry. Your club is your whole system was based on changing people, winning Champions Leagues, winning the leagues, and all this stuff. But you're coming here to give us all this story, this drama movie that you guys did. Your club is in shambles because you got sold or whatever, but your owner, which is everybody twerked for the owner because he's back in the club. He's spending the money left and right. He's ambitious. Our project is better than Liverpool. And I'm not talking about you personally, right? I'm talking about the majority of the fan base, right? They did that. You're calling your fan base delusional. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
A lot of them are morons,
but this is the fan base that supports the club. This is the fan base that goes to the stadium. This is the fan base that funds this £1 billion project that is better than Liverpool. Come on, this is. I'm sorry. This is a drama that doesn't have to be listened to.
Can I ask a question in the panel? There's a lot of Chelsea fans in the chat. There's a lot of Chelsea fans online that are saying the injury list is exceedingly long, and that is playing a part in terms of the poor start of this season. What do you make of that, Rory?
It is that they do have a ridiculous amount of injuries, and if you bring in even half of their sort of best injured players, suddenly the squad doesn't look anywhere near as young they're just randomly generated names on the bench. But you're still, you're Chelsea Football Club. Like, there's a limit to what you can blame on injuries. And every big club, if you look over the last couple of years, has had a period of time where they have an injury crisis, and none of them have been anywhere near as out of shape or as bad as Chelsea. So it's part of the reason that you're doing so badly, but it can't be used as an excuse. And that is just a catalogue of massive errors.
But my thing, though, Terry, to that is that, okay, let's use Nkunku, because that's the name that everyone goes to. Nkunku was injured in pre-season before the season started. So you had a good few weeks to get a replacement. Who was the replacement? Cole Palmer. So for me, it's no excuse, because the replacement you got for Nkunku was Cole Palmer, a guy who is nowhere near, not even close to the level of Nkunku, who we think is going to be the next big France starter and superstar. So my thing, though, is it's the recruitment. How you have to recruit experienced players. Experienced players are very important because if you don't have those old heads to now help the younger guys and just have a bunch of young guys in the dressing room, this is the issue that you would have. And my thing though is you can spend as much money as you want. If you don't recruit well, that billion will always lose to a team who spends less money but have recruited better with a team that has much more chemistry. Because we will get to Brighton and United afterwards. It's about chemistry. It's about getting the right pieces. If you just get a bunch of random pieces and just put together and think they will function as a team, that's not how football works. You have to recruit well.
Yeah, do you know what I would say? Look, listen, I get what George is saying. The fans bigged it up. I would say that all of us on here at some point in in our lifetimes have bigged up signings our club has made or bigged up a manager that's come in. I'm pretty sure, George, there was times where maybe you didn't, but Chelsea fans were like, we've got Jose, we're winning trophies. Spurs fans, sorry. We've got Conte, we're winning trophies, and it doesn't quite work. Fans are allowed to get things wrong based on a feeling.